You don't need the headphones?
No.
What?
So I
beat his ass.
Did something to my bicep. I don't know. So I think I tore my bicep. Oh, I didn't tear it. I think I did something to like a small, I don't know, a small tear. But I didn't. It like bruised up pretty bad.
It's
like,
been like that for like a couple weeks already.
No.
Yeah, this is the second week.
No, it's only been like maybe almost a week. Probably a week today.
No. It's been like 2 weeks already.
Oh. Hasn't been 2 weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, I did something to it. It's crazy because like I didn't. So I was holding pads for Kenneth. Kenneth hit it swung. My arm went a different direction. I had a bad angle, and it felt weird. And like 3 days later, that's when we did the when we were doing like ab conditioning, stomach conditioning, and hit each other in the stomach. And I hit pretty hard, and I just felt not a pop, but I just felt something weird, like it just tweaked. I was like, "What the hell?" So I iced it. I iced my bicep, and then 2 days later, all the blood like just bruised up.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the hell?" And it just, I don't know. It just, yeah. So I'm dealing with that right now. Whoopee. But I'm getting older.
I hate that you say that every time. Every time. I'm getting older. You're 31. You just turned 31.
No, but like I just like not that I'm getting older, it's just when in my early 20s I was just like I didn't get any injuries. And then last month for like 3 months I was dealing with my knee. My knee was all fucked up. And then this, it's just I never dealt with injuries before or like getting injured or anything.
Before you started fighting, you mean?
I'm just saying, like, you watch like kids, you watch like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, even like 10, 11-year-olds, they fall and they just like pop right back up. Like they just throw themselves, or like when we go on the mat, when I teach the kids class, they literally just fall on the floor. Like their whole body just boom hits the floor. They pop up. Ah! Yeah.
Like, it's because they're closer to the ground.
But then you see like older people fall and then just get up like like all struggling, right? I don't know. I just think it's funny.
I hate that you always just say it's because I'm getting old. You're only 31. Stop.
Yeah, I'm only 31.
Only 31. Stop.
But it is getting a little harder, right? Not hard. I wouldn't say harder. Like it just even hurt. It even hurt. The knee issue, like I was running on it, but like it just feels weird. Like there's a difference between like bumps and bruises and then an injury. Like something like when you're injured, mechanically you can't move it. Like no matter how much you push through it, like mechanically, like your body, you can't move your body the way you want it to move. If that makes sense. Like yeah, you could get bumps and bruises on your ribs or on your arm, but then like an injury, like you know when you go running or when you work out, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm sore. Oh my gosh, I can't walk. Like
yeah.
You're sore, bumps and bruises, but then like when you're injured, like my elbow doesn't move the way I want it to move. It might not hurt, but it's like I don't know. Like there's a kid at the gym that fell off an ATV and broke his arm.
Yeah.
You seen the pictures, right?
Yeah, I seen the picture.
His dad showed us, and he fell off the ATV, and the bone popped out of his elbow. And now he's recovering, so they put screws and bolts in his arm.
Did he say he had like 17 screws?
Yeah. Right?
I think that's what he said.
and have you seen his arm?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm trying to get this. So he sent his son back to the gym to like push and get back into shape, because his arm,
It's different than the other arm.
it's like limp.
Yeah.
It's the nerves are damaged, and
Are they damaged, or are you just saying that?
no, he said they're damaged.
They're damaged?
Yeah, so he has to he has to do rehab for the hand, right? But
Is that his writing hand?
yes. Yes. But like in my head, like they said he broke his arm. I'm like, okay.
I'm thinking like right here,
Yeah.
you know. But this was like popping out.
But like, do you think in my head, like, okay, they snap it back on, they do the screws, and then okay, he can move his arm now. But seeing it, so he was trying to do stuff. He was trying to keep his hands up, and he was just doing exercises. But just seeing it, like, it looks detached from his arm.
Yeah.
It looks detached from his body, like it's not a part of his body. And man, I just you forget like when you break a bone, you're breaking the tendons, you're breaking the nerves, you're ripping a bunch of other stuff too. So it's not a I don't know why. For some reason I thought like you just put it back together and it works. Right? Like I don't know.
I don't know. I to be honest, I haven't. You've broken your nose.
Yeah.
Have you broken anything else?
My toes.
You broke your toes?
Yeah, one was the toe went. It got caught in the mat in jiu-jitsu, and the toe went
The pinky toe, right?
Yes, the pinky toe. Literally, it made like it's a straight toe, and then
It's not straight.
Oh, well, as much as we all got fucked up pinky toes, right? Right?
I got a nail on mine.
I haven't seen one good pinky toe.
My pinky toe is good.
Oh, I don't know about
Let's
that.
post. Okay, when we're done and we do the thing, let's do a side by side comparison
of our pinky toes. But no, like it got stuck in the mat, and I rolled one way, and my pinky toe ended up making a right angle. You know what I mean? Like it
Hey,
made
Jesse.
it. Yeah, I was like, oh, and I looked at it, and I mean, it's not that hard to pop back in place, and I literally just grabbed it and like that, and
It's still going to the right.
it got swollen a little bit, but it turned purple. But then it's like back to normal.
Okay, so you broke your nose, your pinky toe.
And my toes are all fucked up.
Okay, are they broken or not broken though?
They broke because they're all different.
Did you go to the doctor?
No, but
Okay, then you didn't break them.
okay, but
No.
I think people
No.
Okay,
Go on.
they're
What else did you
different
break?
shapes and
It doesn't
stuff.
matter. You just said people don't have perfect feet. Yes,
Okay.
your feet are not perfect.
Okay. My ankle when I chipped my ankle. It was a fracture.
Okay,
When
next.
that was crazy because so me and my brother were in my aunt's apartment, and we're jumping off the couch, just fucking around, just kids like
Is this
kids-
when
kids
like
being kids.
wrestling was really big?
Oh, big time. Like, and we're jumping around, and my cousin ended up pushing me off the couch. Dude, my cousin, that kid pushed me off a couch, he's pushed me off what are the playgrounds, like where
The jungle gym?
yeah, you know when you slide down the pole.
Mm-hmm.
He was behind me, and he's just fuck you, and just he didn't say fuck you, he just looked at me and just pushed me off. I literally hit the ground. I didn't break my.
I bet you jumped back up and ran back up there again, huh?
Well, this is the thing. Like, again, bumps and bruises, injuries, or bumps and bruises, right? That time I popped back up. I'm fine, right? I cried a little bit, popped back up. But he pushes me off the couch while I'm jumping, and my foot lands on the floor. My foot lands on the floor wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, shit, what the hell? And I just start crying. And then... And then my aunt's okay, like she, like was, oh, are you okay? And she, like told me, oh, get up now. So I got up. Right when I tried walking, my foot I remember this. I was like 7 years old. I tried walking. Right when I put my weight on it, I just fell. Boom. Like I was like, what the hell?
That's a whole lot of weight.
No, but like it just fell. Like it didn't hold my.
Yeah.
Something was wrong with it, and I felt bad for my aunt because I mean she had to be our age, like 28, 30, 31, some are early 30s, and she's taking care of us, and now she's
has to call your parents to say, hey, Jesse's foot might be broken.
Yeah, like that's the worst, right? When
Somebody else's kid.
You have somebody else's kid and they end up getting hurt. It's like, fuck. It's like, God damn it.
Oh, remember when we had the boys over and when we lived at the other house and they didn't get hurt, but they were playing with like that not Play-Doh or what is it? Slime. And one of it gets stuck in the other one's hair. When Nathaniel got the Play-Doh stuck in Pashi's hair. I mean, when Cruz got the Play-Doh.
Oh, yeah.
It was like his whole head.
It was slime, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was slime.
Yeah.
And then we had to get like peanut butter and put it in there. It came out, but I was like, and they have long hair. I was like, great. Their hair is,
But it's the worst, right?
Yeah,
like you're taking care of a kid and something happens to them. Yeah. It's like, oh, fuck. Now they're not going to be able
to. I don't want to be responsible for somebody else's kid.
I used to spend the night everywhere as a kid.
Great. You were probably the problem child. Like, oh, Jesse's coming over. Let's hide everything.
No, I was the kid that they came over and hid all the food. No, but like, so I used to spend the night over all my friends' houses, and then everybody used to spend the night. Actually, we had like 3 friends that would spend the night. One friend during the summer didn't leave for like 2 weeks.
Is it Tito?
No.
Oh.
But then you think about it now. Like
that's okay though.
No, it's okay. It was 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I give you the weekend. I give you like Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday you got to go home.
So now
maybe one day, maybe just one Saturday or Friday.
Like now that I'm older and I think about it, it's like, okay,
what were your
definitely
parents?
Something was wrong with his parents. Something was going on.
I mean, I used to stay with my family. Like my aunts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Your family, but okay. I mean, what, like your childhood, like, you know what I mean? Your childhood, yeah. Like, why would you stay?
I would to get out of my mom's house.
So, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to leave. I would sometimes, okay, we're going to spend the night for 2 days. And I go spend the night at my buddy's house. Like down the street, I literally would wake up in the middle of the night and just take off. I wanted to go back home.
After you ate all the food?
Then I would get homesick. Did you ever deal with getting homesick?
No. I when I would visit my biological dad in LA, like I would get homesick, but I think it was because I didn't really know him, and when I would go visit, it would be like once in a great while, you know, like. I think the last I had visit once, I think I was in elementary. I could have been in 5th grade or 6th grade, one of the two. And I stayed the summer with him, but I think I cried like the whole time. Like the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go back and visit him until I was in high school, I think. And then by that time he was married. He had a daughter and.
So it sounded like you didn't spend the night over friends' houses.
No, I did. But it wasn't like I would stay like the whole week or 2, you know. I would spend the night, couple nights or so.
Yeah. But we would have, that was like the best thing in the world. Like your friends come over, like you guys are all spending the night and just play video games from fucking 10 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning.
You do that now. You don't even have friends.
I don't play video games anymore. I played I got a PlayStation not that long ago, and I played for a week and then just stopped. Before the gym and before I decided to start fighting, like I would play video games all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you would.
No, but friends would come over and you play video games, and I had one friend that woke up in the middle of the night and I seen him walking. So the house that we lived at, we had 3 families. Well, 3. There was my mom and dad's family, my uncle's
your mom,
family.
dad, and his kid, their kids. Yes. Your uncle and his wife and their kids.
Yes.
Okay.
And then actually at that time it was just me. It was my mom's family. It was me, my mom and dad's family, us, and then my uncle. So it was a 3-bedroom. My sister had one room, and me and my brother shared the family room as a room, and then my uncle had one room. My parents had one room. So we had like basically a living room to ourselves. So there was no door. So we'd all bunk in there. It was a pretty big room, and my friend woke up in the middle of the night and he's sleepwalking, like looking at him, what the fuck? And then he goes over to the garbage can, and he all of a sudden you hear a zzz, like a zipper, and you just hear like
he starts peeing in the garbage can,
like hitting the garbage. And I'm like, Frankie, what do you? I mean, Eva has cousins her age.
Yeah.
That probably is a reason.
Even when she goes over to her aunt's house though, and I'll let her, like, even when the summer comes, like, we'll let her stay over there, and then she doesn't ever want to come back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, you need to finally come back. You got a dog here. You got to take care of it.
But I think it is different for a girl, right? I mean, there's times where me and you, we talk is like, when she was younger, it's like, should she go over there?
You know, I don't think it's more or less that different for a girl. I think more or less we've said this before. Eva's deaf, and I don't know how do people, like, I don't know, like, she's deaf, and I don't know how people are gonna respond to, okay, like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, her sleeping and like,
kind of.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I never really thought about that. Like, when we decided, like, we would decide on things where she'd be able to go.
What I'm saying is trying to make if people are uncomfortable because they're like, okay, do I have to wake her up? You know what I mean?
But man, like, those little decisions, like, I don't, like what happened last week with Cain Velasquez.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you think about that, like, he just decided to send his kid to this daycare. It was a
daycare, yeah.
Daycare. And on the outside looking in, I mean, you never know when a predator is going to, like a sexual predator or just a fucking dumbass, let's just call him that. Just a dumbass is going to try to touch your kid or do harm to your kid.
Yeah.
Like, and it's those little decisions, like, as parents, we're like, okay, should they spend the night over here, or should they go to this? Or it's not even just sex offenders or pedophiles. It's just bad situation for your kid.
Yeah.
Like, where do you draw the line of letting them solve their own problems, and then, or just not letting them do something because you understand that it's a bad decision, right? Like I'm talking about, like, going to a party. Eva's getting older now, so yes, we do still have to be aware of pedophiles. Like, we can't just send her anywhere or be around certain people. But, like, when she was younger, Eva won't be able to really speak up for herself. But now she's getting older. She has a little bit more understanding of what's a bad situation, what's not a bad situation. So the pedophile thing kind of is getting less and less. But then we're more dealing with, like, just bad situations. Like, should we let her go to this party? Should we let her hang out with this friend? Should we, and we really don't stop her from doing anything.
No,
there's been
she
like
could
maybe
do whatever
1 or 3 times.
Not that she could do whatever she wants, but I mean, she's a child. She's not a child where we have to tell her you can't do that, you can't do this. She doesn't get in trouble. She hardly gets in trouble. I mean, yeah, she gets in trouble for her attitude, but she doesn't get in trouble for anything else.
Sorry, guys, we got cut off.
Good job.
I don't know where it ended, but we were talking about how, as parents, you have to make difficult decisions because everything that happened to Cain Velasquez, and, like, little decisions in your life that you sometimes are out of your control for your kid, like what party they go to, where they go for
who they hang out with.
Like, in Los Baños, daycare is a big thing because you have a lot of
people that commute to the Bay Area.
Yeah. So, and you don't know. Like, you really don't know. Like, you're
Yeah.
saying, okay, these people are saying, oh, it's a really good place. But you never know where evil lurks, where fucking dumbasses lurk. And it's scary.
But
Right.
we've had that conversation before. If anything like that had happened, I for sure would go to jail. Like, this was like a few years ago. And you're like, no, let the courts take care of it. I don't believe in that. And then as the years went on, you're like, I agree with you.
Why do you have to make... No, hold on.
I agree with you.
No, I'm saying, like, I don't know. Before, I don't know, maybe I was a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you first asked me, when we first met...
That's what I'm saying. This was years ago.
Yeah, when we first met, and, like, Eva wasn't... I didn't think of Eva. Eva's my stepdaughter, if you guys don't know. She's not blood, but she's
your stepdaughter.
She's my daughter. Like, I raised her, right? And I don't know. I didn't really understand it, right? I'm like, no. Like, let's let the courts, or let the process take care of it. You're going to end up going to prison or jail and being out of that kid's life. And I didn't say, like, oh no, why you gotta imitate me like I'm not? I didn't mean it like that. Like, I'm a fucking wimp. I'm saying, like, I'm thinking about it logically. Like, okay.
That's how I heard it, though.
But I'm thinking about it logically. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go to prison. The kid's gonna be without a parent. Like, so what's gonna happen? But then now, as I've fallen in love with Eva. I love Eva to death. Like, I would do anything for that girl.
Mm-hmm.
If anything would have happened to her, fuck, I'd lose my shit. So when you think about what Cain Velasquez went through in his head, doing all that, going through all that, it's like, there's no stopping. There's no thinking. There's just go, and, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard.
I stand with Cain Velasquez. I'm just saying.
It's hard and it's sad.
It is. Right. Because you know what? Like, you don't think that yourself is going to be put in that situation. You think you're making a good choice, which every parent thinks they're making a good choice where they send their child. And of course, he probably feels bad. They probably feel bad. Like, man, we sent them here. No. And that happened. You feel guilty. You feel guilty as a parent. You feel guilty. You feel like you let your child down. You feel like this is your fault. You felt like it could have been prevented. Those are
the things that, like, that's what we're talking about. It's like, you're taking, your choices matter. Like, there's this kid in front of you that doesn't know the world, doesn't know how evil the world is, doesn't know how crazy the world is, and your decisions matter. And it's tough, man. Nobody knows. Like, everybody's been, like, yes, there's very, very shitty parents, and you could always pick them out. But everybody's at one point is a bad parent and a good parent. Like, we've been bad parents. Yeah. We've been good parents.
More good parents than bad, though.
Yeah. But, like, we don't know. Like, no one really has the fucking manuscript on how to be a parent. Yeah. Like, you could be the best parent. I've seen, I didn't live with them, but I've seen some of my friends have the best parents in the world that did like, would go to the end of the world for them, put them in a bunch of sports, and still they came out like fucking assholes. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes it doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Like, and then we kind of, like, had the shit end of the stick, or is that even a saying? We have we say blunt. We didn't have the best childhoods.
That sounds way better.
I like to think we came out pretty okay.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's just like,
I agree.
What were we fighting about the other day? I said save it for the podcast.
This high school.
Oh, okay. So my
don't say the name.
a high school in town. There's only two high
Well,
schools.
okay, but still, like, don't say her school's name.
Okay, so there's two high schools, and one of the high schools said,
they've been giving the kids warnings for showing up late. Kids just come, they show up late to class. They've been doing it, I guess, and they've been telling them, you guys need to get here on time. You guys need to get here on time. And they didn't. They haven't been, I guess.
Yeah.
So on Monday, once the second bell rang, if you're not in class by the second bell rings, the teachers were, I guess, notified to lock the doors. And whatever students were left out got escorted to the auditorium.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were there the whole period, marked absent. They weren't able to make up that class time or whatever. So I asked Eva, I said, are they still doing it? She said, yeah, they've been doing it all week. And when I was leaving today after dropping her off at school, I was like, damn, all these kids are going to be locked out. Yeah. It was like, there was so many cars, so many people trying to get there.
But in my head, so we fought about this, right?
We never have an agreement we never agree on anything. It's always a discussion.
So the schools so this is what's happening. The schools are locking the kids out if they're late. Basically, that's what's happening. And I said, when I was going to school, there's a process, right? And I went through that process because one year I cut so many classes that, and tardy's a tardy. So a parent could go get a fine or go to jail if their kid's constantly tardy, truant, right? Truancy.
Yeah, truancy.
Or doesn't show up to class, right? And I cut a shit, like it was like 80 something classes, and it was like half the year.
That was like a quarter of the year right there for you.
We did the math. I literally cut a class a day in high school my junior year. A class a day. And
I mean, there's no excuses, but I understand.
We all went to 200 kids or 300 kids from the school district that were truant all the time ended up going to like a big courtroom, and we all had to sign a paper saying we're not going to skip anymore. If we do, our parents are either going to have to pay a fine or could pay a fine and face up to jail time. Mm-hmm. And after that, like, I stopped, right? But they had a process. Like, it's not like, and this is what I was saying, that you can't just, the school has the process. You got to go by that process. You can't just lock the doors. And then what about the kids that are never late? What about the kids that messed up one time? They get fucked over and can't do class. What about the kids that are really doing good in school, but you fuck them over and say, hey, you can't go into class? There's about, I mean,
hold on a minute. That wasn't your discussion when we've talked about this. That wasn't what you were saying.
What was I saying?
You weren't saying anything about, what about those kids that are doing good? What about those?
But that's what, because we were fighting about what I just said. That there's a process.
Okay.
But I'm saying, that's why I'm saying there's a process to it. You can't just kick the kids out.
But this is the thing. The process was, they let them know ahead of time.
Yeah.
If you guys keep coming late, this is going to happen. So they knew the consequences of their own actions.
So how many, there's 2,000 kids at that school?
I don't know.
No, not 2,000.
No.
There's a lot of kids, right?
Maybe.
There's a shitload of kids at that school, right?
Yes.
And at least 1,000.
But this is the thing.
There's going to be kids there. Yes, there's a shitload of kids being late every day. That was the problem, the issue. But then you can't, there's going to be kids that are fucked over because of this whole thing.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what about the kids that go in late and disrupt all the other kids? So do you think that's fair that a late kid disrupts all the kids that are already there learning?
It's not fair, but there's
so where do you draw the line then?
There's already a line. Like, you mess up, you're late this many times, or you don't go to class this many times, then you.
But if that's not working, and they, like I said, they repeated it many times, you need to get here on time. We're no longer going to be accepting late tardies. Yeah. How many times? Okay,
so if it happened to Eva.
Hold on. This is the thing. But this is the thing. How many times have we taken Eva to school and we're driving back and you see all these kids that once they get onto campus, they leave. And then you see those other kids that are like taking their sweet ass time walking to school.
And what happens when they're late? What happens?
They're marked tardy.
They're marked tardy. And then if you have so many tardies, something you get disciplined, right? The whole thing I said, like you go to the truancy court or whatever it was that I went to. But like you keep on being late, those kids get weeded out if you're actually like disciplining them, right?
Well, this is the thing. If you said, what about Eva if she gets there late? Yes, we've dropped Eva off, but this is the thing. She knows she needs to get to class. And if she says, oh, well, I was talking to somebody, well, then that's your fault. You knew you should have been in class before the bell rang. That's on Eva.
No, let's just say we're late. We're late driving.
Then I would take her a second period and be like, she had a doctor's appointment.
Oh,
sorry, she had a doctor's appointment.
Instead of just dropping her off and just giving her that time, like she fucked up. We were late. We messed up, and giving her that time. The school that she goes to, the traffic is shitty.
Yeah, it is pretty shitty. There's three schools within a mile of each other. It is shitty. They need to change the hours, or I don't know what else to do. I mean, there's only 3 ways to get into that school, and they need to change the hours.
So some of those kids are late because of
Yeah, but then you also have to.
It takes 30 minutes to get to that fucking school.
But then this is how
we're literally five minutes away. We leave early.
That's how you have to think about it. If you know there's traffic, you need to leave earlier, and which we do, so she can get to school on time. It's like, why is it fair to the people that actually get there on time and drop their kids off and this and that, and then the kids that come in late are disruptive?
So Eva showed me a video that. So there's a shitload of kids.
It's a line
like
of kids.
100 kids lined up to go in the cafeteria because they were all late.
Yeah.
That many kids, like, I don't know.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like, if you know you have to get there on time and you can't be late, leave earlier. Yeah. Leave earlier.
We
do it every day.
I remember at my high school, there was four ways to get inside inside the school.
Or
4 areas.
Hold on. Or those kids can get up earlier and get on the bus.
Bus?
There's
no
buses
bus for the high school?
Yes, there is.
For the high school?
I threatened Eva so many times that she's gonna take the bus to the high school.
But I remember the high school that I went to, there was 4 outlets, like 4 ways to get inside the school.
To the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you could get dropped off one side, like it was this box. Mm-hmm. One side. Like there's a bunch.
Yeah.
And like here, there's basically one way to get in. Right?
Yeah, they have like one gate open.
Yeah. So it doesn't. I'm not saying like there aren't kids goofing off being dumbasses. What I'm saying is that it's not on all the kids, right? It's hard to fucking drop off your kid there. And sometimes some kids are just late because of their parents or just, you know what I mean?
No, I see no excuse. This is the thing. It's a set time every day.
Yeah.
So every day you're going to be late. It's a set time. It's not like the time changes.
To me, it's just like there is a process.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm saying there is. But what I'm saying is that why aren't they going by like sending them to detention, then sending them to like reaching out to their families and then giving them like if you're truant, you get fines.
I remember. Okay,
or is that just a bluff?
No, remember they did send us a truancy letter for Eva, but that was because she went on vacation. I called the school, let them know this was in junior high. I think it was. She had went on vacation with her grandparents or somewhere.
Yeah.
Called them, let them know that she was going to be gone for a couple of days, and I think it was like 5 days altogether, like throughout the whole year. And they sent us a truancy letter for her.
Yeah.
And 3 of those days or whatever were for vacation. I was like, why are they sending us a truancy letter? She has, and this is the thing though, she was getting straight A's.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's going on.
Yeah. So we discuss. We never see eye to eye on anything, which I like though because I don't want you just to agree with me, and I'm never gonna agree with you.
I don't really agree. I agree with you at times, but then there's some times where I just ignore you.
I don't know. All I know is that we get up at a reasonable time. We get Eva there at a reasonable time. So.
No. Another thing that happened this weekend was, so we were at the gym. Eric.
Oh.
So we're at the gym, and one of the guys, we were doing boxing sparring, and it was his first time back at sparring. Hasn't sparred in a while. It's like, kind of like it has.
Jesse took him out with the leg kick.
No, and he has a little bit of hard time like sparring. He doesn't really like sparring. He wanted to do it again, and he did it. It was his first time back after months, and all he did, I see it. All he did was step back. Like, I didn't touch him. It was the first round of sparring, and I just gotten back from Eva's. From your coaching softball.
I was doing kids. I'm doing kids pal.
Yes, so she's coaching softball, and I was just getting back. I went in the morning there. I had a good day. Like, I go to the softball field. A bunch of kids were like, "Hey, Coach Jesse."
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, what's
I'm on
up?
the field,
hey,
and all I hear is, "There's Coach Jesse."
And I'm like, "Yeah, hey, how's it going, guys? How's it going? Yep." And then
You coach softball.
and then I'm having a good morning, right? It was a good Saturday.
Yeah.
I get to sparring, and first round, me and Eric, we're going light. We're going super light. And then he steps back, and his knee just buckled. Like, it was the weirdest thing. And he buckled, and all I hear is, "Coach!" Like, he screamed. And then I kind of like, "Coach!" Like, I kind of like, and then I kind of like, what the hell? I freaked out a little. Not really freaked out. Okay, I freaked out a little bit. And he buckles. And right when I said "Coach," I seen his knee. Like, it popped out of place.
Did you take a picture?
Why would I take a picture? I'm trying to hold it up.
Oh.
And no, he fell to the ground, and I seen it. Right when I seen it, I was like, "Oh, I got to stay calm." Because it was bad. Like, the kneecap faces forward. The foot's facing forward. The kneecap was on the side.
Which side, left or right?
Right side. While the foot was facing forward.
Ooh.
So the whole thing went, it like turned. And, oh man, I seen it happen to another girl.
I was gonna say it only happens when you're doing something.
Whatever. I seen another girl happen to at the gym, but that was like, this one just seemed, it looked like the knee was like bulging out, like you could just see it, and it was a lot worse. I think maybe because he was bigger. I don't know, but he falls to the ground. I'm holding it. Coach calls the fire department. Oh, the medics, right?
911. Coach called 911.
Coach called 911, and I'm just holding it. I'm trying to keep him calm. And we had just did the
CPR class.
CPR class at.
No, you did not do that.
No, we had just did the CPR class, which is basically like emergency class. Like, if something happens, what do you do? Like you're trying to keep the person calm. And I'm like, "Eric, don't look at it. I'm gonna cover it." And I covered it. I iced it. But like, I'm trying to keep him calm, and he's telling me like, "Is it bad?" I'm like, it's good. and there's not really much you can say. No, he said, "Is it fixable?" That's what he said. He said, "Is it fixable?" And yes, it's fixable. And then they get there.
Is it fixable?
And then the medics go, "Hey, do you want an ambulance or do you want to get taken to the hospital by one of your friends?" And I'm like, the bill's high. And we're like, "Oh, Eric, the ambulance, it's going to be a hefty bill if you take the ambulance." But then I'm looking at him. Eric's like 6'2", 6'3", 200, about 260, 270. And I'm looking around. My biceps messed up. And
all you're worried about is my biceps.
No, I'm saying like,
okay.
I'm saying, who's going to lift them?
Uh-huh.
I was like, who's going to lift them into the car? Even like, I just, like, I was like, man, that, if it was like you, I'd be like, okay.
You have a hard time picking me up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was you, it's like, okay, we could do it manageable, right?
Manageable.
So we would have to keep his knee in place, not move it. Like, I'm just thinking.
Here,
like,
fuck it. Take the ambulance.
Yeah, and I'm so glad he took the ambulance because the ambulance guys get there, they put him on the stretcher, and they needed our help
to pick him up.
Yeah, they had 4 or 5 people there. They needed our help to pick him up too. And I was like, definitely. I was like, fuck, we would not be able to do this ourselves. So he went in the ambulance, and they popped it back in place. No bone damage. And he's gonna get an MRI, but he said the doctor doesn't think he tore anything. So
that's weird.
So it was and it just fucked up the vibe after that. You know what I mean?
Nobody wanted to step back.
No, it just like
Sorry, Eric.
Especially for me, I was having a good day. I was like, fuck, man. I was glad he was back. And
you did have a good day after we went to Spaghetti Factory.
Yes, we went to Spaghetti Factory, and we ate with your. I love your mom. Your mom is so funny. Your mom is hilarious. Well, we went to Spaghetti Factory for my nephew's birthday.
Now let's talk about my mom. She was already drinking when we got there. She was sitting in the bar. I think she had one drink. I'm not even kidding. I think she had one drink.
Yeah.
And it was a margarita. And she was already like toasted. Yeah. She knows how to have fun.
The thing is, like, she's way more outgoing.
She has no fucks. No.
Yeah, she has no filters.
No, she doesn't give no fucks at all.
And me and my daughter were watching Medea, a bunch of
the newest
came
Medea
out.
that came out, yeah.
And we were watching it, and we watched more of the Medeas too. And those fucking movies are funny, by the way. The Medea coming home, or Homecoming, hilarious. But I was sitting with Eva was by us, and then your mom was in front of us, and I look at Eva while your mom's like screaming, saying something. I could look at Eva.
Thank God that side doesn't work, because she would have been getting an earful on that side.
And I look at Eva. I was like, man, this is how it feels to be in a real life Medea. And your mom heard me, and she got so mad.
She probably didn't get mad. Did she hit you?
She didn't get mad. She's like, oh, you fucker.
Did she really say that?
I don't know what she said. She said something, though, but I just thought it was funny, though. Because your mom is just so loud. She don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, she doesn't. Not
she
at
don't
all.
give a fuck. And that's what I love about her. Sometimes she's a fresh breath of.
Nope.
I don't. I can't say.
A breath of fresh air?
Yes, a breath of fresh air.
Fresh breath.
You guys, Naya's fighting this weekend.
Are you going to have this posted, though?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Naya's going to fight this weekend, our 7-year-old.
It's our first amateur fight.
Yes, our first youth amateur. She'll be fighting in Stockton at the Stockton Auditorium. Tickets $35 at Strike. And, yeah.
They might be online, too.
But it's going to be fun. I, unfortunately, can't go. I'm going to be doing security at a bar. I actually got hooked up with a job. It's just for one day. I can't turn it down.
Top flight security, Craig.
It's $50 an hour. And I was like, I can't turn it down. $50 an hour. And then, like, we got taxes coming up. So
we have things coming up, so he needs to make money.
I need to make
money.
There
you go. Don't sound so pitiful saying it.
It's not that. It's just I want to go to the fight, but they're going. They'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and if you're listening from Los Baños and you guys, or in the Central Valley, you guys want to go to a gym for martial arts or just to get in shape, Strike Fitness at 115 West G Street. Right
Los
next
Baños,
door to
California, 9365.
Yes, right next door to
Comcast.
You guys, we got wrestling, BJJ, Muay Thai,
boxing, combat,
or just fitness classes, and and we have kids classes.
Personals, you can get personals too.
Yes. So, I mean, I love doing the kids class. It's like the hardest part of my day and the best part of my day, because I get to see these kids grow into martial arts and young adults. And I don't realize it because we live in a small town. So there's not that much for kids to do. So when we go to things like other events like the softball games, and I see kids coming up to me, "Hey, Coach Jesse," and like they're talking to me, and it made me realize like these kids are gonna be 18 eventually, 10 years from now, and it's like I didn't understand the impact I would be having. You even told me like the impact I'm gonna be having on these kids' lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a chance. Like I literally see them every day. And it's like I'm having an impact on these kids' lives, and it's important to me to do good, to be good. Like it's a difficult, like strike is barely growing. Like we're 3 years in, so we're fairly new still. If you count the pandemic year, which was not really a year, so we're really like 2 years. So I don't know. It's awesome. I love doing the kids program and what we're doing with it. So yeah, if you guys have a young one wanting them to get into Muay Thai or something productive, send them our way, and I'll be waiting. Yeah, I love you guys. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys next week, and Raquel will see you next week too. Anything you want to say?
See you guys later.
Oh, Raquel Diaz Designs. She has keychains, guys. She has a bunch of stuff coming out. If you guys want custom things made, custom cups, custom keychains, custom shirts, custom anything, sewing, what's the vinyl, anything that you guys want, Raquel Diaz Designs, guys. Hit her up. I love you guys. We're out. Peace.
Bye.